Hey traveler, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the top 5 travel credit cards you should be looking at in 2021. Travel credit cards are a huge part of any travel hacking strategy, which lets us get free hotel stays and flights. If you're new to this channel, my name is Sky, and here we give you the tools and resources you need to plan your dream vacation on any budget. If that's something you're interested in, subscribe so you don't miss any of our latest content. Okay, so let's dive in. But before we pick our top 5 credit cards, we have to set some rules. So there's 3 main things I focus on when I'm looking for a new travel hacking credit card. The first one is the sign-up bonus. The sign-up bonus is kind of like a welcome offer. When you get a new card, they want to give you a bunch of points that then you can then use to redeem for free flights and hotels. So the bigger the bonus, the better off we're going to be. So we'll keep that in as a key factor. The second one we're looking for is aligning with our normal spending habits, right? So if you spend most of your money on a certain category, different credit cards will match that and give you points multipliers, right? So some of the top cards that we're going to want should align with things that we're going to be spending the most money on in our daily. So we're going to look for cards that match the categories as closely as we can to our spending pattern. Part of building a good points and miles strategy, find cards that match your everyday spend so you don't have to go out and spend extra money on things you don't actually need. And the third category we're looking for is redemption options. Earning a bunch of points is great, but we want to be able to use those points on flexible programs or are in categories that I know are going to give me a good value. So those are the 3 criteria we're going to look for when we're considering our top 5 travel credit cards. All right, with that, let's hop in to my recommended picks. Oh, and before I do that, I just have to say I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is purely for entertainment value, but okay. That being said, let's hop into my top 5 picks. Okay. So first on my list is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. This is a really good complimentary card for a couple of reasons, especially if you're going to use some of the more powerhouses cards that Chase offers. So why do I like this card? One, it's a 0 annual fee card, which is great. It's good to have a couple of these cards in your lineup. In the long run, it's going to help you with your credit history. You never want to cancel a credit card that has no annual fee. You want to let that accumulate, and over time, it's a big help in your credit score. So highly recommend getting some of these cards, keeping them in your wallet and just never canceling them. The intro bonus is pretty nice. It's $200 for $500 in spend in the first 3 months. Nothing flashy here, but $200 is pretty good. The other thing about this is you get the 5% on travel purchase through Chase or their portal, which is fine. Don't use that a ton. However, the 3% on dining and restaurants is pretty nice. It's a good multiplier. That's pretty solid. But the real reason I love this card so much is the 1.5 unlimited cash back on all other purchases. One of my big travel rules for travel hacking when you're doing spend is never just settle for 1 point per dollar. You should at least get that 1.5 multiplier. So this is great. And we'll talk about some simple Chase strategies as well that, with the rest of this list, but this pairs really nicely with some of those other cards. And you actually get a multiplier when you use one of those other cards, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So for those reasons, it's not a lot of frills here, but it is no annual fee. I do recommend this to a lot of beginners. I also recommend this to a lot of folks who have some of the stronger, my favorite beginner cards as well. As I said, it's pretty complimentary. So for those reasons, this is number 5. Number 4 on my list is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And this is a good partner card with the Freedom Unlimited. So what do I like about this one? It's got a fat bonus at 60,000 Chase points. Chase points are really flexible. They have several transfer partners to both airlines and hotels. And this is really going to set you up for a lot of redemption options, which is exactly what we want. We're planning kind of our dream vacations. It also has some good categories, 3x on travel immediately after a $300 credit. So this card comes with a $550 annual fee, which is pretty big. However, you have a $300 annual travel credit. So the first $300 you spend on credit gets removed from your balance. So, you ultimately get, if you're going to use that on travel, which of course you are, you're already going to bring that down to about a $250 annual fee. So not so bad. And then every dollar after that, you're getting 3x multiplier for travel, which is a great category. The other one that's really strong here is the dining and restaurants. So a lot of my spend is either on travel or on dining. So this card is a no-brainer, adds a lot of value from that perspective. It is my number 4 because the annual fee is kind of high and you can get a lot of the benefits that this card has with other options. So I don't always just immediately recommend this card. I think there's some other options and other combos that work out really well. The other benefit here is if you have that Freedom Unlimited card, those points that, it says it's a cashback card, but you can transfer those to points if you have either the Sapphire Reserve or the Sapphire Preferred. And depending on which card you have, you actually get multipliers. So those cashback points are worth even more when you partner with one of these two cards. So for that reason, this is number 4 on my list. Really strong card. Recommended for a lot of intermediate to advanced travel hackers. Okay, so let's hop into my number 3 option here, which is gonna be the Delta SkyMiles Platinum card. The sign-up bonus is 50,000 miles, which is really strong, I think. This is good for you and, let's say a significant other to do round trip coast to coast. So if you wanted to go from SFO to JFK, you can get a round trip with you and a companion for 50,000 miles pretty easily. So I think it's a good intro bonus. I wanted to include a airline specific card into this roster as well for my top 5. Delta in 2021, I think Delta's pretty good. I think a lot of folks are going to do a lot more domestic travel than in years prior, but it also has some flexibility to go to some of the international spots, especially within Europe. So I thought this was a good bang for your buck here. I like that it's 3x miles on Delta purchases. So when you're flying Delta, you get 3x there, which is pretty good. But you also get 2x on all your miles for restaurants and supermarkets. So while a lot of folks are still getting ready to travel, the supermarket spend might be one of your higher categories. So I love that this includes that. And then as we start to transition and go back out and to do more restaurants and things like that, you're getting a lot of benefit here. So this aligns really well with spending. I like the bonus, and the redemption are going to be really, really solid, especially if you're going to look to fly domestic. Delta is one of my favorite airlines, so I wanted to include this card there. Okay, so with that, we're going to hit our number 2 card, which is the Amex Platinum card. This card is a heavy hitter for a few reasons. So let's hop into it. One of the things I like about it is the fat bonus at 75K points. This is American Express points. American Express has its own reward platform that transfers to other airlines and hotels. It's super flexible, just like the Chase portal. Comes with a lot of options there. So 75,000 points, that's huge. I think the points guy rates this at about 2 cents per point. So we're easily clearing over a K and in value there, if not closer to 15. So I think this is a no-brainer from the bonus perspective. Also, it's giving you 10x points on the first 6 months for supermarkets and gas stations. So this is a great way to boost your points inventory before you start transition in, as you're feeling more comfortable traveling. This is a great way to build up your points roster. So I love the 10x multiplier. That's only good for the first 6 months, but that's plenty of time for you to earn a good nest egg of points and then start planning how you redeem them. And as I said, you get plenty of options on how you can redeem American Express points. You're also getting 5x on airline travel and 5x on hotels that are booked through their portal. So the big 2 travel expense categories, you're getting 5x and then 10x on gas and supermarkets for 6 months. That's a no-brainer. One of the downsides here is it does have that $550 annual fee. I think benefits quickly outweigh that. So we wouldn't be intimidated by that, but I don't recommend this to beginners for the most part. Definitely more of the intermediate, but you can easily clear that with some of the luxury perks that you get, like lounge access, global entry, rebates, and things like that. I think you also get a $200 Uber credit or VIP status on that you can use annually. So there's a lot of baked in credits and points and features that you get with these cards as well that justify an annual fee. So don't let that be a deterrent there. For that's my number 2 card. And then finally, my number 1 card is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. This is one of the best cards for beginners through experts here in travel hacking. Comes with a $95 fee, so it's much smaller than some of the other heavy hitters we talked about. And it's got a great bonus. It's actually the best sign-up bonus we have right now at 80,000 miles. So that is massive. I don't know how long they're going to keep that. I think it's usually 50K that they have. So they've added an extra 30 the last month or so. So I think this is a huge benefit to consider right now. Also, it comes with the Chase for redemption. So it's going to have all of those travel partners to transfer to. So it's super flexible in its redemptions. And then it comes with a 2x multiplier on the top 2 travel categories. So travel, flights and hotels, as well as restaurants and dining. So definitely checks all of our boxes when we're looking for a top travel credit card. Hey, and that's my list of the top 5 travel credit cards you need to be looking forward to in 2021. These are definitely cards I'd all recommend recommend. I'll drop links in the description below to each of these in case you want to look for them. Leave a comment with any of the cards that I missed you think I should have considered. And if you got any value from this, leave a like. It helps out the channel more than you know. All right, travelers, until next time, peace.